doing? Are we connecting?
Says we're good.
How we doing? Are we connecting?
Says we're good.
How we doing? Are we connecting?
Okay, I can hear us. We're good.
All right, good deal. We're on. We're live. Everything's good.
All right. So while I get all the stuff sent out, everything turned on that needs to be turned on the back end, like I told you before the show, I do have a show topic for you,
Yes.
and this one is a doozy. Have you heard about the people trying to cancel Microsoft for their lies about Game Pass sales?
No, I haven't heard this.
Okay, so 4 years ago, Microsoft put out a thing saying that Game Pass did not hurt sales of video games, right?
Yeah.
4 years ago. Recently, as in this last week, there was a report from an independent news outlet that said that Microsoft was losing money on sales by using Game Pass, which Microsoft was reached out to for comment and said, yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
And so the reaction to that,
it almost seems like you can't help that from happening. You're gonna,
right?
You know, and I imagine you do lose a little bit even after you get some back from people going, you know what, I'm going to buy this.
Yeah.
After playing it. So,
The reaction to that is that Microsoft was lying all this time, and actually they're trying to hide from us how much money they get from Game Pass. It's like, that's not what is happening, though.
Look, there's stuff that we can call out that's probably pretty important about Microsoft lying, but I don't know that this is really one of those things.
Also, it's been 4 years. It's a different person that responded to that article than the one that said it in the first place. Things may have changed over the course of 4 years. What I'm trying to say is, yes, obviously they lose money on sales sometimes with Game Pass, but they also don't from other people because they get the subscription money instead of sales that they wouldn't have gotten anyway, and people will buy DLC for games that they wouldn't have bought the DLC in the first place.
Yeah. What's going on, Roxanne? What's going on, Will?
Hello.
Glad y'all are here. Already, right off the bat. Right off the bat. I don't know. I think we're going through pretty good through Double Zeta. So
yeah,
won't be much longer.
I just think it's really funny to see people still doing the console wars and going like, this is our chance to out Microsoft, when I'm right there with you. There are things to complain about Microsoft. Game Pass is not one of them.
I would be.
Burnger's really quiet for you?
Okay. I don't know. I can cut up a little bit here if I need to.
That's good.
Okay. Maybe better on that. I don't know. Because I'm pretty sure any corporation of sufficient size has probably got some skeletons.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know.
That was low. He should sound better now. He's no longer quiet. There we go.
Good deal. Yeah.
Well, that pre-show topic. Go ahead.
It's an interesting discussion topic, but I don't see how it's like, yeah, this is the big thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Should maybe developers be making more money for putting their games on Game Pass? I don't know. I don't know what they're getting paid. Those numbers aren't forward-facing.
I don't know if the developers are losing.
Right. Anything. I assume the loss is on Microsoft's side.
Yeah, but maybe not.
But if so, surely the developers would be telling us.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
Just, the console war is still going strong. Still going strong.
Yeah.
Thought that pre-show topic might go a little longer.
What was funny is like I remember, when it was like when the console wars were like Xbox and PS2.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nintendo's doing its own thing. Where they're not part of these real console wars or whatever.
Yeah.
Goes on. whatever.
They are now, unfortunately. They are now. And I say unfortunately just because I see the craziest takes on Twitter of Nintendo puts out right. Nintendo puts out a video trailer for like a new Animal Crossing thing. And the responses are all like, "Where's Zelda? Pokemon sucks now. What's wrong with you? Nintendo's terrible. Sony's better. Microsoft's better." It's like, do you really think the social media person, the community manager that's job is just to post that trailer, is reading any of those responses?
Yeah.
They muted that thing as soon as they uploaded it, man. You are just wasting your time.
Yeah, they're done with it.
All right. Well, there's just a little extra wrinkle to this. It's not really important. People have been pulling up Phil Spencer's interview from 2018 on Game Pass and using that as ammo against it. Let's go, Eevee. That's a good game. But basically, they're trying to say that Phil Spencer was saying that Game Pass increases sales of the game, when that's not what he said. He said when you put a game like Forza Horizon 4 on Game Pass, you instantly have more players of the game, was actually leading to more sales of the game. He didn't say people buy it again after Game Pass. He said it's leading to more sales, probably because people see their friends playing it, or hear their friends playing it, or somebody streams it.
Or want to play it for longer than a month or two.
Right. And so then they buy it. It doesn't mean that everybody that plays it on Game Pass buys it again.
Yeah.
But just a really weird thing. I don't understand why this came up, why it was a big deal. I had multiple people ask me if we were going to talk about it on the podcast. I was like, but it's not even a thing. It's
yeah, yeah, calling out corporate schlock is not hard to do.
Right.
So I think it's a good point to put out. It's like, hey, look, here's them doing the same thing they always do.
Yeah.
Right?
Why is this
trying to make everything look better than it is, but whatever. Okay.
All right. Okay. Hyperdimension Neptunia. Those are good. I need to play more of them other than the first one. You ready to kick this thing off then?
Yeah.
Oh, let me change this first before I do the intro. Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Full Spectrum Podcast. My name is Trey. We got some stuff to talk about tonight. Now, we don't have a pop quiz tonight.
No.
So we'll move straight into weeks.
Yes.
And I guess first, before weeks, we should probably do announcements. We do have an announcement this week. And that's for the Thursday and the Friday show. They're going to be going a little bit longer than they were before.
Okay.
We're not capping them at an hour anymore. So we're not necessarily going to push them to like 2 or 3, but you never know. We might.
Yeah, if it's going good, yeah.
We're just not going to cap them anymore. So
yeah, good deal.
That's it. I made that seem like it was going to be a huge thing. That's it.
Oh, okay. Well, 5 hours.
No. It's just, we sometimes we're having a really good time and we cap it off early because, we have things that we do on Thursdays and Fridays after the podcasts, after the shows. And so, we've shifted some stuff around and we're going to let them breathe.
See how they do. See how they grow.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I'm trying to think of what I've done this week. I had a really good time playing Lotro yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was I like the storyline quest.
There was some stuff that happened there.
Yeah. Like, holy cow. Man. And there's some really cool stuff with Lairden coming up. And in even dim.
Yeah.
And the city down there, and Anuminas.
Yeah.
I'm probably not saying it right. I understand. It's Tolkien names and prescription drugs are kind of the same thing. I can mess it up somehow.
We did find that enemy.
Yeah. We did see that was the first roving threat you saw, right? Going up there, yeah.
Yeah, the trigger fire stuff is working again. Good call there, Will. You got it going.
Which is a raid boss just wandering around.
Yeah.
In the open.
Forgot to get my laptop up for the docket, so I will do that while we talk about your week. It will be the easiest thing in the world to do.
I've been trying to think of what I watched. The baby's been watching. What was he watching last? Gosh, dang it! Howl's Moving Castle.
Nice.
Like yeah, so that and Spirited Away, he seems to really enjoy, which is cool because I can stop in and stand there and watch a couple scenes.
Yeah, don't blame you. I'd have a hard time walking away.
You found the name of that ring. Are you talking about Narquil?
Narquil.
Yeah, I rip off Lord of the Rings a lot when I'm running a game.
As you should.
Yeah, both. And when I say I rip off Lord of the Rings, I mean I rip off the books, the games. And it's not the only thing I rip off, but I just want to clarify that.
Go ahead.
If it's got something about Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit and I enjoy it, then I'm probably going to pull something from it.
I had to try really hard not to get into the stuff that happened in our campaign when we started talking about the ring yesterday. And I was like, no, I'll be good. Yeah. I won't start bringing up.
And the reason, because I used Narquil, and because I dig that word. I dig that name.
Yeah.
That is great.
Play the video.
Everything all right over there?
Yeah, Will redeemed a. Well, I said Triggerfire was working. It's giving me the authentication error again. He redeemed Ozaku, but it didn't show the image like it's supposed to.
Look.
It was working up until we hit go live.
Figures. Look, our audience needs as many ways as possible to make fun of us. That needs to be working.
Let me see if it works now.
This is no Zaku, boy. No Zaku.
The audio is playing. You just can't see the image for some reason.
Interesting. It's hidden behind something.
Don't think so, but I will double check.
That was the easiest answer I had to give.
Right. I don't blame you.
I didn't think did you try unplugging it and plugging it back in would work at this moment. So I went with my second option. Going through that.
Oh, I think I got it. I think I got it fixed.
That's
we try playing it again and we'll see.
Yeah.
Will did spend channel points on that. Where is it? Where did it go?
I don't know.
We have so many channel alerts now.
That's your fault.
There it goes.
No Zaku, boy. No Zaku.
Now it plays on screen and everything.
Okay.
No, I had a lot of fun with Lotro yesterday. That was really fun.
Right on. There hasn't been much done, but a couple of chores and setting up at a doctor's appointment, and I feel like I think I was gonna watch something else, and I ended up not watching it.
Yeah.
Or something came along. Yes. And I'll probably remember it right after, we stopped streaming.
Yeah. I understand. I understand.
On that note, how's your week been, sir?
Well, my week's been pretty good. I finished Fire Emblem Engage. And the review went up for that. Pretty happy with how that review went out. It turned out to be a lot harder to talk about that game than I thought it would. But
what, with not giving away spoilers or just
no, I'm very torn on it. From a gameplay perspective, it's maybe my favorite game in the series. from a story perspective, it's easily one of the worst.
Ooh, okay.
And it's not because it's bad. There's some really good moments in the story. It's because most of the characters just don't matter. And so at the end of the day, it's not that it like was offensive or anything. There's a couple Fire Emblems that the stories are just terrible. But this one made me care about characters, and then the only character that mattered was the main character, really.
You know, that reminded me what I watched. I watched Bullet Train.
Okay.
You know, with got Brad Pitt in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like that movie. But it's kind of the movie that I really like though.
Yeah.
It's like one of my favorite movies is Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. I don't know.
Right.
May have heard that. May have heard that. Guy Ritchie's got a couple, and Snatch. He did that one as well. But I really like Lock, Stock. There's a couple that are in there. They kind of have that same feel. They're serious and silly at the same time. and it's overblown at all the right points. But it was a good movie. It's no longer bugs me. I remembered what I watched.
Okay.
Talked about characters, and I was like, yeah, there's some cool characters in that. Oh yeah.
I don't blame you.
Twins
I don't blame
awesome.
you. I'll say one last thing on Engage before I move on from it. Do you know how the tone is in Double Zeta?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that, except when it capitalizes on that tone and it's the good moments, it's really good. And then it goes back to, hey, this character's just talking about tea.
Yeah.
It's like, man, this guy's family is dead. This guy's with you. He's really strong. He's really cool. His family's dead.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, she's over here going, oh, I've got some new tea that I want to try.
Well, that's a weird thing in storytelling. You can have exposition that's kind of, that's...
Hey, Dark.
I'm glad you are here. You can have exposition that's kind of like not necessarily meaningful for the story, but somehow, yes, Bullet Train, the movie. I loved it. But you can have exposition that like not necessarily has anything to do with the story, but you get it kind of gives you an idea about the character, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of it like a good definite example. The one that comes to mind is from another movie I really like called Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
Them at the beginning of the table, and they're talking about a Madonna song and tipping.
Right.
And it's got nothing to do with the story.
Yeah.
And everybody there's like, but through their discussions about the stuff, you kind of get the attitude of each of those characters in a little bit of way. Just a little more painting on to the characters that get built up through the movie. And then I think sometimes in storytelling, whether it's games, movies, or books or whatever, they try and they want to have that cool exposition.
Yeah.
Right? Cool dialogue right there, but it just doesn't really fit.
Yeah.
And it always kind of comes out like, it kind of comes out awkward. It's like, what are you talking about? There's just stuff going on.
I firmly agree. You are very far behind the video then. That's weird. Trigger fire might be causing more lag. We'll have to see. YouTube might get really bad then. We'll see.
All right.
We'll find out. I said I was going to say just one last thing. There's a really cool character in Engage that gets introduced partway through.
Yeah.
And his name's Fagato. And I'm not going to talk too much more about him, but because I don't want to spoil too much for people. But Fagato is a really fun character.
Nice.
He shows up in story cutscenes for 2 chapters and then never shows up in a cutscene again. Even though he's a main character in the game, just never shows up in a cutscene again.
Interesting.
Might as well have just fallen off the earth because he no longer matters. And it's
cool characters with nowhere to go.
Exactly. That's why it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Fire Emblem Engage, really, really fun game. I love playing it. Just unfortunately leaves kind of a bitter taste in my mouth when it comes to the characterization. Deadpool 1 and 2.
Fair enough.
Nice.
Fair enough.
Still been working on Guild Wars 2. Since I finished Fire Emblem Engage, I started working on the Living World Season 4 again, or Guild Wars 2. I got to fly a sky scale, which is the dragon mount. I didn't get my sky scale, but I got to fly one for a little bit as part of the story, and that was pretty cool. Story still continues to be really awesome. We'll talk about Guild Wars 2 a little bit more later, but right now, really fun game. Still loving it.
Good deal.
Still trying to deck out that guild hall that is very empty, but not as empty as it was. So
Keep working on it, sir. Chicago Figaro. Figaro.
I think it's Fogado for Fogado, but I'm not sure. But pretty sure. I did something else. What else did I do? What's it? Must not have been that important if it just doesn't. Oh, finished Legend of Vox Machina Season 2.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Very good.
Very nice.
Season 2 was very good. So
that's kind of cool.
Kind of a shame that I have to wait like another year to get Season 3.
Yeah.
Because Season 2 does not end on a, like, hey, we've resolved the story we're in. It ends kind of on a cliffhanger. So YouTube's not too bad.
But they are planning on putting out another one, though.
Yeah. No Dark. So they're not close.
One up. That's one up from Netflix.
Yeah. They are not close to the end of the campaign. That's what I was talking to the missus, and so she was saying is I'm kind of excited to see campaign 2 because she hasn't seen any of campaign 2. And I was like, yeah, we're like 3 years away from campaign 2 at this pace. So
yeah,
we'll see. The season was really good. It just they did not resolve. So like season 1 handles the entirety of the Whitestone arc, right?
Yeah.
Season 2 starts with the Chroma Conclave stuff and ends in like the middle of the Chroma Conclave stuff.
Okay.
So there's still a lot of stuff to come in that arc, and then we still have the next arc after that before the end of campaign 1.
I'm wondering because I'm sure in some ways, depending on how much the computer's working and helping, animation is easier to do than it used to be, but still smooth, good-looking animation.
Yeah.
Still shaded, drawn frame by frame that takes a long time.
It does.
And it goes through a number of different people.
Yeah.
Do that. I don't know. Maybe it won't be too long.
Hopefully not. Hopefully they've been working on it in perpetuity with it, but I'm willing to wait if it means that they don't have to crunch and it looks good. So
yeah.
I started playing Chained Echoes again, which is the RPG that I kickstarted way back when, or I had supported on Kickstarter. I always say it that way, and people get mad at me. I didn't make this game. If I had, it would be very different, and there would be common writers in it. But I'm still really enjoying it. It's got a weird progression for character progression where you only get to learn new skills when you beat bosses. But you, in every fight, get SP that increase the level of your abilities. It just takes a while to bring them from level 1 to level 2. From what I can tell, enemies drop a set amount of SP no matter what level they are. So there's nothing really stopping me from going back to earlier areas and just grinding up those levels. I'm probably going to do that. But
my brain immediately went to the... it's one of the only South Park episodes I know. It's the one, I think they're playing Warcraft.
Yeah.
And they go back and they're like, if we kill like 1 billion rats, then...
Yep.
They just farm like oh man. All right.
Yep. And then the last thing for me for my week, still been playing Lotro. I made a Guardian last night. So I now have one of every class.
Okay.
Still liking just about all of them. Guardian's still way too low level to have an opinion on. Still liking just about all of them except the Minstrel. Just need to get it higher level, I'm sure. But that game is... I play a lot of new games.
Yeah.
it is very nice to have an old school RPG, like an old school MMORPG that still plays well. That's not like there are archaic things about it, but it's not just super archaic, you know? Dwarf Guardian.
Yeah.
I went Stout Axe Guardian.
Yeah. That's a dwarf
Yeah.
with that. Yeah. The dwarf guardian or a dwarf champion for sure.
Yeah.
Be good. Don't make him start crying again.
It would be amazing. That's what my opinion on it if it was made would be. It'd be amazing. It does still count. That's very true. But no, it's just still a really fun game, and I'm enjoying it not just on MMO Mondays, which I hope proves that I'm not faking my excitement on MMO Mondays. I don't know how anybody could think that I was, but I get that every once in a while on Twitter where people are like, you're just faking nobody can be excited for all these things. It's like, no, if you know me, I absolutely can be excited for all these things.
Yeah.
Hunter
Yeah.
and Bjorning, yeah. You can ask
My favorite.
Rugrid. He has to put up with me getting excited about random stuff all the time.
Well, it's worth it because there's parts in there where we get to like that last cutscene we got.
Yeah.
Where I'm just gonna sit there and let you make faces that goes through.
I want to go back and watch that section of that. That might be a good highlight, just because I'm not saying anything because I knew you were behind me. I didn't want to spoil anybody on anything, but oh, it was great. All right, well, we'll move on from weeks then into reviews.
Okay, I'm showing. I don't know if they are. I'm showing we got 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, yes, I love my Bjorning. Bjornings are so cool. It feels so good to turn into a bear and just destroy people.
Cocaine Bear will be coming out in the theater soon. Not already.
We did not have a quiz today, no.
Yes.
Bear nitrous. Our first game is called Wanted Dead.
Okay.
And I wanted to give you a full description of this game, but they have their own description on their website that I'm just going to give you instead. They say it's Ninja Gaiden meets Cyberpunk.
Ninja Gaiden meets Cyberpunk.
That's what they say.
All right. I still have recurring nightmares about Ninja Gaiden.
That's fair.
Game. You have to be so perfect. I have beaten a game years ago.
Yeah.
I'll point out that its name is apt. They did a good job naming it, huh?
Yeah, it is. It has just come out, I believe, today.
I don't know. I Wanted Dead. I do have a spot in my heart for Ninja Gaiden as well, but I like in a cyberpunk aesthetic. It's not really telling me much,
Right.
because maybe it's because I played too much Shadowrun, but I always picture ninjas in cyberpunk.
Yeah, I'm already a cyber samurai. It's fine.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna go 82. I'm gonna go
Okay.
82.
Will says 99,999.
Yes. Rules and nature. 78.
Exactly. Exactly, my friend. 75.
Okay. Progress.
The score is, we got a 72 there as well. The score is 61.
Dang. We all shot a little bit high.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, how could I not be a cyber samurai when I realized that was on the table and I could be Raiden or Jetstream Sam?
Yeah. Or Strider.
Or Strider, absolutely. Although Strider's like a cyber ninja, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Also, if I played as Strider, could I have the bolts and the cyber animals?
I don't know. I don't know how that would work. Do that.
Love Strider.
I just think you should. The only thing I think you need to do is to run kind of crouched and swing out like that.
Yeah, yeah.
That, you know.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it. That's how you become it.
Yeah. Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, the Elder Scrolls. Is that what the TS is? All right. So let me give you some reviews before I hit the button again.
Yeah, please.
Attack the Fanboy says Wanted Dead may not hit the mark in every area, but it still serrates the cut between hybrid slasher shooter gameplay perfectly, and I knew that it would be revisited by me for a long time to come, even after the credits had rolled. We're going to get to that, Roxanne.
Wait a minute. What?
We're going to get to it.
All right. You got any more?
I do, but an ad starts in 15 seconds. So let me read this review for you, and then we'll have the ad.
Okay.
Games Radar says, it's not often that the promotion campaign might be more enjoyable than the final product, but Wanted Dead may have to grin and bear the ignominy. Despite the ad has just started, so I will wait to finish reading this. I thought I could read it in 15 seconds. I could not.
Hey, Nightbot's doing good.
Nightbot actually was on time. Wow.
Yeah.
Go Nightbot. Proud of you, buddy. Nice.
Avoided it.
Well, now it just tells me the ad's starting soon, so I guess I'll finish reading this paragraph.
Okay.
Thanks for the countdown that meant nothing.
Right.
But Wanted Dead may have to grin and bear this ignominy. Despite some effort to subvert genre norms with its characters and amusing minigames, the core action is bogged down by low production values, imbalance, and repetition. For every moment it hits its stride, there's another where it stubs its toe, and some slick execution animations are as imaginative as it gets. Now we have the ad. All right.
Okay. Interesting.
Thanks, Twitch.
And that's
It gave a whole 1 minute countdown to the ad, and then there was an additional minute before the ad started.
that's so you can get ready.
I guess so.
Doing, after these messages.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Just a reminder, if any company wants to sponsor this podcast, they can send us an email to fullspectrumpodcast@gmail.com, and we can talk about some sponsorships, and I'll read them for you during the ads so you get double ads. Just saying.
Very nice. Yes.
I say any company, though. There are a couple companies I will turn you down. I'm sorry.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Unless you offer me a lot of money. No. So, we're back from the ads. You've heard the reviews.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, the first one kind of gave an impression that it would be a really good recommended score.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's gonna go down a little bit. I'm gonna try to be nice to it because I know the other one. I don't know. 72. 72.
Okay.
Drop 10 points. 72.
Chat, what do you think the recommended score is?
70. Yeah.
Okay.
right in
Okay.
the middle. 50.
All right. Still a 0. Okay. Okay. The recommended score is 24%.
Yeah. Goodness. Guess it
Yeah.
wasn't their cup of tea. Or they don't think their friends will like it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Goodness.
I'm going to be honest. I watched the trailers for this before I went to their website because I did not know what genre this game was before watching those trailers. And the trailers made me actively not want to play it. Because the world trailer, where it introduces the characters, is the most cheese, but without the good part of the cheese. Without the flavor of the cheese. It's just cheese. Maybe the game itself is better, but there's a line where one person says, and her blade is not just a pocket knife or something like that, but we don't all understand her Swiss accent that well. And then the character says something completely understandable, and another character goes, ha 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 ha. I was like, all right, look, I love cheese.
Yeah.
This is not the cheese that I love.
Oh, you
I love Far
cheese,
Cry
not
Blood
Swiss-
Dragon cheese.
Not Swiss cheese. Yes, I
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah. Haven't seen that in the
I don't
game
know,
itself.
cheese-
That's good.
Oh.
Past your dead time. Yep. Yeah. All I'm saying is,
Better
I
do.
want a game to have cheese in the variety where Rex Power Colt walks into a room and they ask him, Rex, why are you doing this? And he says, for America. And then the flag comes up behind him and it starts playing the national anthem. Look, that is the cheese I want. Far Cry Blood Dragon is perfect.
You gotta be careful with cheese. If you put it on the wrong thing, it's nasty. But the gameplay is fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I need that kind of cheese. So, we'll move from Wanted Dead to our other game for review, which is Metroid Prime Remastered.
Oh, okay. That's got to be at least, I'm going to say 90 on that. I'll go ahead and give my score.
See what chat thinks.
It may even be higher. 95. Yeah.
Okay.
It could be lower, but yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be higher just because, oh my gosh, it's a never ending attack. Sorry, wrong game.
I understand.
Just because of, oh man, looking back on it, what this game did for Nintendo. You know, it's kind of a flagship for a while. All right, I think we got scores in.
The score is 95 or 94. 95. I'm sorry. Dark and Anomalous were right there. It was right there. I'm so sorry. I read the 95 as I was looking back over.
The Remaster looks at, oh, that's cool.
One off. Yeah, it did. Like, it recontextualized how Nintendo made their shooters, right? It was the first one to use a different control scheme than what they were using before. It recontextualized what Metroid could be.
Well, it was the modernized Metroid, and they did it right. Maybe kind of.
Now, I have some reviews for you. Okay. I need to mention this first one is from Nintendo Life. They might be a little biased, but I think this is a pretty good blurb. So I wanna read it for you.
Okay.
Nintendo Life says, with Metroid Prime Remastered, the seemingly impossible has been achieved. A masterpiece has been made even better. The minor issues we have with the motion controls and the occasional visual hiccup pale in comparison to the enhancements that have been made here. The visual improvements are extensive, right through to the minor details, and it all comes together to create one of the best looking games on Switch, remaster or not. The new twin-stick control setup works flawlessly for both veterans and newcomers, retake. But if you're itching to go back to the original GameCube controls, that option is there too. With an expanded gallery feature to round things out, Metroid Prime Remastered feels like a new benchmark in how older games can be thoughtfully revitalized for the modern age.
That's a pretty good review. Like I said, they might be biased.
Maybe a little bit. Hello, Faith. Hey. Welcome back. We missed you. Final Weapon. Say 87? Okay. All right. Final Weapon says, Metroid Prime Remastered is a genuinely stunning remaster of the beloved GameCube classic. Retro Studios have gone above and beyond in recreating the assets and implementing superb twin-stick gameplay. Prime Remastered only improves on its original release and acts as the definitive way to experience the 2002 classic.
Okay, you want to give another one, or you good there?
I can give you one more that might help give you context. Okay. This is the context for you. It's the lowest rated review.
Okay.
And it says, it's from IGN Spain. It says, Metroid Prime Remastered is a superb remastering job of a Nintendo classic, which original players will embrace with a huge smile. Some logical limitations of a game from 2 decades ago may make it a bit rough for new players in certain situations. They don't expound on that. I don't know what they're referencing. I assume it might be when you have to backtrack.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Maybe. Okay. I think it's going to be high.
Okay.
We've got a couple scores in already, a 90 and 95. Oh, and 87, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. That.
I understand. We're just glad you're here.
I'm going to stick with my 90 on this.
Okay.
On that.
The answer is 100%.
Okay. Okay. I I I don't disagree with that game with that score. I always jump a little bit when any game gets 100%.
Yeah.
That seems it's like I don't. It
If there
should
was
be
a game that was going to get it this year, it's this one.
okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Interesting. To that. That's it. Well, it was a smart move. It was a game. It was a good game to bring back.
I agree. And apparently they did a really good job of bringing it back. Hopefully this means we get the next one and the third one, because the third one needs a re-release where you don't have to use the motion controls. That would be great.
Yeah.
All
I've been
right.
excited with motion controls for a while. All of them did.
Yeah.
What the heck was that thing PlayStation had you doing with the blue balls on the
Yep.
end?
PlayStation Move.
Yeah.
Had to use the bow.
It's like I want to play a video game, but I feel like I'm at a rave. I've got these glowing balls going everywhere.
I worked at an electronics store when that came out, and I was in the gaming department. And so we had the setup for it, right? And the manager over that section of the floor would come back through and tell people, hey, watch this, and go, hey, Trey, come over here and do the archery thing again. And so I had to just sit there and do that every time he wanted to demo it to a customer.
I would take pay for that.
It was great getting paid for it, but eventually, like, man, there are other games on this package we could be showing off.
Or one time I worked for it was called Buds. It was a secondhand. It was like all the crap that breaks down at Sam's and Walmart. They try to sell through that.
Yeah.
Was that Barry?
It was that. Yes, it was Perry.
Yeah. And so somehow I ended up. What happened was I hadn't been there like I was 18. I was stupid at 18. That's not the point. But I got put over the electronics section.
Yeah.
Through that. Yeah. So for like 3 weeks, nobody came in to Buds for a computer. So like 3 weeks, I got paid to play Hexen.
Nice.
Yeah, I played a lot of Hexen.
Nice.
During that time.
I don't think that's too much of a hot take, Anomalous. Metroid Prime 2 is a great game. The only real issue that I saw people talking about at the time was how hard it was to get some of the armor setups. Like the second suit was really difficult until you knew how to get it, and then it was fine.
All right.
Likes that game a lot. We'll move into announcements.
All right.
I realize now that we never talked about Double Zeta. Let's go ahead and talk about Double Zeta.
All right, can I don't know, man. I like some of the scenes. I like some of the suits. I think there's even a couple of characters in there that are okay, but
Yeah.
one, it suffers from 80s-ness
Yeah.
bad. I mean, that comes through a lot. If you told me this was made any other decade, I'd be surprised.
Right.
They said right in the heart of the 80s, going through that. It's weird because I understand, that originally Tomino didn't get to tell a story.
Right.
Tomino. He didn't get to tell a story all the way. And so he tried to do this and that, but honestly, we'll have to see on the back half of it now.
Yeah.
Or getting to right around there. If stuff really starts paying off, it almost feels. Zeta felt like it could have been a little bit shorter.
Right.
On the series, and Double Zeta really feels that way.
Yeah. Man, those first couple episodes had me tricked. I was like, man, this is better than I remember. No. But the suits, the Dwaj, the Dryson, the Bawu.
It's not as bad as Transformers the movie.
Right.
Now, if you don't know, obviously two of the biggest toys in the 80s were Transformers and G.I. Joe.
Mm-hmm.
You had others, Gem and He-Man and stuff. But basically, all those cartoons were, a toy advertisement.
Yeah.
Basically for all of them. And what happened with the Transformers the movie?
I love that movie, by the way, but yes.
They had 2 years there where they were really selling good, and they had this line of toys going. Then they killed them all in the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and they brought all these new ones in, and it kind of killed the whole thing.
Yeah.
Double Zeta feels kind of like not that bad, but it seems like more than the other two that we watched, that the turn is like, hey, make sure you get a new suit in there.
Yeah.
Or, or do something with the suit so we can show it off.
Yeah.
And going through that. I don't, honestly, it feels to me, and this, I wouldn't know, I couldn't know for sure, but it feels like, the heart's just not in Double Zeta.
Right.
As much as it was for the other two.
Yeah. Also, I take back every mean thing I ever said about Masahiro Cello. I wish I could have him back instead of Glimmy Toto. I wish I could have Masahiro back. I'd even take Shara Soon at this point over Glimmy Toto.
It kind of feels like, yeah, it feels like the studio, the production company is coming in and trying to direct the story.
Yeah. We need a Gundam team, and the bad guy's got to be their age, and he's got to think for Ruluka. And...
yeah, and we're glad
welcome.
You're here.
We're glad you're here.
Glemmy. There's some, and I realize that things are viewed differently in different cultures and all that, but there's some stuff that a little uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I'm gonna take this small girl and I'm gonna make her do what I want her to do and basically enslave her. Which
was really kind of weird. It's like it was like this weird space opera My Fair Lady all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It just goes kind of like, okay, not long after Moon.
Yeah.
Well, the premise of My Fair Lady is honestly pretty dark.
Right.
But yes, they're consenting adults.
You might like it.
I don't think
so. No.
I don't think so. Because all the stuff in My Fair Lady that might be kind of humorous is just kind of odd.
Yeah.
Odd in this.
Yeah.
Come on, Henry, move, you blooming horse. Sorry, that was I did that for Faith.
That's fair.
Yeah. So I don't know. From what the community seems to think, we get through this and Charge Counterattack.
Yeah, we get some good stuff.
Highlight.
Yeah.
Highlight then. So
also,
we'll have to see.
I will never forgive them.
I'm getting there, Will. I'm getting there.
For putting Bicha Oleg in the Hyakugeki.
Yeah.
I will never forgive them for that. That suit deserves better. But we're almost done with Double Zeta. We've got just a few more weeks, and then we'll be done with Double Zeta. There's 47 episodes, and we just finished episode 31. So
yeah,
we're almost there.
Also, some of the writing seems to be at the expense of some of these characters you've already built up. We talked before in earlier episodes, and Dark, was talking about Bright. It's like, he's not that incompetent. Why is he, Yeah. And I don't need to be cursed right now, Roxanne.
But then you get a scene where he has to fire a high mega particle cannon at a city, and it's a good Bright scene.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah, you've built up Bright as I don't know, it's kind of weird, and a few of the other characters, and I don't have an Emma in this.
Yeah. Well, that's because you got a Bicha and a Mondo. Those are supposed to be your favorite characters, don't you know? You're supposed to. No. The only one that I like Judo well enough, I guess. But that's because I also like Judo from extra stuff that's not just Double Zeta. The only one I legitimately like is Lino. He's the only one.
Yeah. It is. But that scene, they gave it a little bit of gravitas.
Yeah.
Which also was another thing about Double Zeta. This is the most, I know they're cartoons for kids, but this is definitely the most childish.
Yeah.
Of all
they're killing people while they're having conversations about needing to go to the bathroom or being hungry.
Yeah. It's
Doesn't feel
It's
like Gundam.
No, yeah, no. Like an after-school special with Gundam thrown in or something. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'd been. Oh, there was one last thing I wanted to mention. Because we keep saying we're going to talk about it, and we never do. The animation. The animation got to step up.
Yeah, that I do want to comment on that because I don't know what 2 episodes back,
Mm-hmm.
2 or 3 episodes back, the animation changes
Yeah.
subtly, and it's enough to where it's like it's almost would seem like a different cartoon.
Yeah.
The shading's a little more prominent. Is it right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, and we looked it up afterwards because we both were kind of confused by it, and this is when a new artist comes on board onto the team, which is Okawara, and he is famous, of course, for Votomes, Dankuga, things like that. This is also when Judo starts wearing the dark outfit that would later be repurposed by Shinobu from Dankuga, that is just that same outfit. So it's very clear that Okawara had a lot to do with the animation at this point in
Yeah. Yeah, you could feel, and I think it's, for my personal preference, I think it's better.
Yeah.
It kind of brings it up a little bit, and there's some other anime from that time that's like, yeah, they were doing this. Not that the original
Right.
was horrible or anything. I don't want to be bad, but it's just all of a sudden like, oh, that looks a little more detailed.
Yeah.
That looks a little more, comes through a little better. Yeah, I have forgotten that a couple times.
We've gone many weeks without talking about it, so I wanted to make sure we talked about it this week. But it's mostly because we went many weeks without really having any new opinions, and this is just kind of a catch-up.
Yeah. True.
All right. Well, let's go into announcements, starting off with Game Pass games.
What's coming to Game Pass?
Well, some pretty cool stuff. If you care about it, Madden NFL 23 is on Game Pass now.
Yes and no.
Right.
Because the last good, I like sports. I'm not going to, sit here and tell you need to go watch sports or anything, but I like some sports. And the last good football game that I consider good from EA was their 2014 college football game.
Yeah.
On that. And so the last couple I've tried to pick up have not held my interest. The best part of 1 million Prime 1 million. Now the best part of I believe it was the 22 edition was because you could start with your character up, so you start out in a high school state championship.
Yeah.
And that little section right there actually was a better football game than the rest of the game.
Nice.
It was just, human beings are limited in certain things they can do. I don't know.
My favorite football game is still Tecmo Bowl because you can be Bo Jackson and the game just doesn't know how to deal with you.
No, that's cheating.
Yeah. The game just gives up.
Yeah, I know. Look, I can run back down the field and I'll run back up it. Then
Yep.
back down the field.
Yep.
Nobody can catch me. That's cheating.
I
I did play. I did play Tecmo Bowl a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
I read.
It's a
Yeah.
good game.
I read. Yeah. Everyone, I've got this thing. The little Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So every once in a while, I turn it on, and I'll play some. I'm gonna play like Punch Out or Tecmo Bowl, something like that. I go check out Final Fantasy. Yeah. I haven't really started the Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Because then if I do, I'll sit in this chair until I beat it. I can probably do it in about 8 hours, but
yeah.
Ugh.
I know some people that'll be really happy about this next game, which is FC Gundam Battle Alliance on Cloud Console and PC.
All right. I'm gonna have to see if I can work that out. I may play that for something. Because I haven't played a Gundam game.
Yeah.
Yeah. To let you get to look over it and go, okay. More people to play with.
Yep.
Hey, where did I hear that phrase a while ago?
No, it's a
Yeah,
very good game, and being able to play it through Game Pass that's good. That's a good deal.
nice. All right.
Next up is Mountain Blade 2 Bandlord,
Okay.
another game that is a great deal to get on Game Pass.
Yeah, it is. I haven't played much of Mountain Blade 2.
Right. I played a lot of Mountain Blade 1.
Oh, I played lots of Mountain Blade. Yeah. But they're sound alerts. Dadgummit.
That's why they're there. City Skylines Remastered coming to Cloud and Series X and S on tomorrow, the February 15th.
Wasn't that like the original, like a 2006 game?
Yeah, I believe
Newer-
so.
Okay. It might be newer than that, but I don't think so. Yes. Yes.
Shadow Warrior 3 Definitive Edition coming to Cloud Console PC February 16th.
Okay.
So I haven't played the third one yet. Atomic Heart coming to Cloud Console and PC on launch day, February 21st.
Oh, wow. There is part of me that really wants to play that game.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like I said, Bullet Train is the kind of movie that's kind of made for me.
Right.
Yeah. The look of Atomic Heart, that catches something in me. I want to see that. Yeah, I do want to check out that game.
Yeah. Roxanne, I did make sound alerts cheaper. That's all I'm saying. Atomic Heart.
With like no turnaround, he's got no redeeming. Like he starts out as a complete douche and then learns, or he is just an angry.
I don't
Angry man.
remember him being that from the second game, but it's also been since that game came out that I've played it. So
Okay.
I could just be misremembering too.
But it's
I
the same
could also
character
be,
all three
I
games.
think so. I could also be combining it with the Shadows of the Damned, which is a very different game, but in my mind is the same.
It's Shadows. It says
Well,
Shadows.
Also,
okay.
it's about a game or about a character that fights with a weapon that's possessed by a demon, just like each other.
Okay.
Shadows of the Damned is a good game. Uses a shotgun that's possessed by a demon, and it gets all fiery and cool looking. That's a good game. Wild Hearts is coming through an early access trial for EA Play. So you don't just have to have Game Pass, you also have to have an EA account to be able to do that one. But it's there if you want to do it.
Yeah.
And then leaving, because something's always got to go, Besiege is leaving, which is kind of a shame. That's a really interesting experiment that a lot of computers can't run, so Game Pass is a really good way to try it. It is a game, but it's also a simulator for building whatever you want to build, and it's unfortunately technically very exhaustive. Every piece of the machine that you build is loaded in all at the same time.
Okay.
Crossfire
Man,
X.
Ram.
Right.
Crossfire what?
Crossfire X
Okay.
is leaving. Infernax. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was just saying, Crossfire. There's a game. There was a board
Crossfire.
game. Yeah, that you're gonna get it in the Crossfire. It was a thing you shot beads across.
Yep.
Right, and it
Yep.
was kind of like air hockey, and you had the little gun.
Because it's 100% closing in May. That'll do it.
This is no sucker
yeah.
boy, no
All right, let me
sucker.
go ahead and shut that down. then.
That'll do it.
Which I would probably play the video game if it was you just shooting kind of like if it was a Crossfire board game. But I don't know.
I doubt it is, but that would be cool.
So I can put on my cool bandana.
I like that one. That's a good one.
You would.
Recompile is leaving. The Last Kids on Earth is leaving. And Skull the Hero Slayer, which is a roguelike that I actually really like, is leaving. So
Okay.
those will be gone on the 15th, which if you're watching this podcast, when it's like all done processing on YouTube, it's already too late. But if you're watching it on Twitch, you have tonight to play these games.
All right. So what is Crossfire X?
Question.
Because ours is a pretty easy game, and you can rack up the achievements in 2 to 3 days.
First person shooter.
Okay.
Counter-Strike. Okay. Interesting.
First-person shooter in a Counter-Strike type thing. Okay.
All right. After the Game Pass games, we have the stuff that was announced on the Nintendo Direct.
Yes, we have a review up for that.
Mm-hmm.
We watched it.
So,
By Gump.
yeah. Ooh. That's
Okay.
does not sound fun to me personally, but I mean, Nintendo. That's having a little bit of trouble spelling it. So I'll just run down the list here. You stop me at any that you have thoughts on.
Okay.
Pikmin 4 is coming. I don't know why I did this way. I put 7/24 and my brain just died. It's coming July 24th.
That's the one. That's one that you predicted.
Mm-hmm.
I believe you had said you believe there would be a Pikmin game.
Yeah, looks cool. Xenoblade 3 DLC is coming. The first part of it dropped on the 15th. I got all excited because I thought this was going to be the story stuff tomorrow as well. It's not. It's just the new Blade. The story stuff's coming later. Either way, still.
You're going to get new story stuff.
Yeah. So I'm excited. Rex! Samba de Amigo Party Central Summer. Fashion Dreamer.
Yeah. I don't know.
The Dead Cells Return to Castlevania stuff is coming to Switch. That's pretty cool.
That looked good.
Tron Identity got shown off.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting.
Yeah. Ghost Trick Phantom Detective is coming to Switch. This is a re-release, remaster, I guess. Looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Deca Police. I really like the look of this one.
Yeah.
Hoping it has some Deca Ranger nods in there. Don't know how it came with that name and being about a police department when that's what Deca Ranger is. Cereza and the Lost Demon. We got to see some footage of.
Yeah.
Looks okay. It's weird that you say that, Dark, because Octopath Traveler is going to be on Switch. Octopath Traveler 2 is going to be on Switch at launch.
And it's on Steam?
And, yeah, on Steam. Sorry. It's going to be on Steam as well, which is very interesting. It might be a new trend moving forward, or it could be just Square paid extra to say, no, put it on there too. But
yeah, that might be. Square's got a little bit of,
pull
leverage. Yeah.
The original Octopath Traveler is so good. I love that game. I think it's on Game Pass. It's worth looking into. Splatoon 3's expansion pass coming this spring. Yeah, Square got it on PlayStation as well. So it could just be them shelling out a bunch of money, but I hope that it means Nintendo is being more amenable to it. Mickey Mouse Illusion Island is coming July 28th.
Yeah.
Looks interesting.
Yeah.
Fire Emblem Engage is getting more expansion pass stuff. Again, they showed off story and non-story stuff. The non-story stuff is out now. The story stuff is not. So there's a lot of stuff on Game Pass, man. We're not sponsored by Nintendo or by Game Pass, Microsoft. We're not sponsored by Nintendo either. But Game Pass is real good.
Yeah.
Harmony.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Harmony: The Fall of Reverie is coming in June. I find it's just so good. Octopath Traveler 2 demo is up now. So that's on
into the regular game.
Yep, carries over as all demos should. We Love Katamari is coming June 2nd.
That one's weird, yeah.
Also, just a little side thing. I was so caught up in the Direct at that point that I wrote out June 2nd in full letters, so it looks like it's a title. Just pointing that out. Yeah. Sea of Stars is coming August 29th. That has a demo that's already out that, of course, will carry over to the full game. Why did Harmony: The Fall of Reverie make you think about a mukbang? Omega Strikers was announced. Looks okay. Kind of cool. Etrian Odyssey Origins Collections is coming June 1st. Looks cool. Advance Wars Reboot Camp 1 and 2 is coming April 21st.
Which that's kind of cool because that game's been Advance Wars as an IP has been around for quite a while.
Yeah.
I
Kirby's. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Think, I think was the first one. I think it was before the GameCube, wasn't it?
Yeah. I believe the first one was on Game Boy or Game Boy Advance, maybe.
Oh, okay.
But,
I was thinking Nintendo 64 or the Super. Well, I think it would be Nintendo 64. So one of those two, yeah.
Advanced. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, those are good games.
Oh, very good.
Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe with the Magalore epilogue
Yes.
is coming February, or the demo's coming February 20. No, the game's coming February 24th. Demo's already out,
Make up your mind.
but you can't play the Magalore DLC unless you replay the whole game. So it's not DLC, the Magalore epilogue, unless you replay the whole game.
Epilogue.
Keep that in mind. Nintendo Switch Online, Game Boy, and Game Boy Advance drop. Game Boy stuff you can play without the regular or without the full subscription. The advanced stuff you need the full subscription to be able to play.
We called that a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
Just that there would be a lot of older stuff coming back.
Yeah. Then Metroid Prime Remastered, of course, which Shadow dropped.
Well,
Hey, we're making this and we're putting it out today. All right.
Yeah. It was really funny because after we talked about that, or after we watched that, like the next day, I saw quite a few articles like Nintendo just shadow dropped one of their biggest games.
Yep.
Yeah, it did.
They sure did. Master Detective Archives Rain Code coming June 30th. This one was weird. If you remember, this was like the Danganronpa Persona style thing with superpowers that also had a little bit of Professor Layton and Detective Conan in it. I don't know what this thing is, but it looks cool. Fightin' Kaitos 1 and 2 are coming this summer. I guess not remastered, but like ported.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Always wanted to go back and play those. Fantasy Life: The Girl Who Steals Time,
which is a cool name.
I don't think I'm going to enjoy the game as much as I enjoy the name, but
yeah, The Girl Who Steals Time is a cool title.
It was
like
weird, but interesting.
That makes me want to look at it.
Yeah. It's like The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, except more despicable.
Yes.
Professor Layton and the New World of Steam. Unfortunately, it was not given a Steam release confirmed at the end of it, which it should have with a name like that. Then Mario Kart Wave 4 for the DLC includes Yoshi's Island and Birdo, and that seems to be it.
Well, that was announced way before. This is the last of that season pass.
Yeah.
So there's all four. So it was supposed to be 4, and they had tracks each pack.
Mm-hmm. And then finally, of course, we had Tears of the Kingdom, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
May 12th is the release date, and we got some information on that, including that it looks like you can just build an airship.
Why not?
Legend of Zelda nuts and bolts. Let's go.
I really enjoyed Breath of the Wild. I hope this just Let Through Time was good. Cool.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah. I hope they
Toshi Kon
just kind of make it Breath of the Wild again, but just make it a little bit more. You don't need a whole, to rethink the way things are run in that game or anything.
See, I agree with you, but also I would love it if they just went all in on the nuts and bolts style mechanics. Everything drops parts, and you can build whatever you want. That would be sick.
Well, we'll see.
I'm going to build a giant picture of Cass, and I'm going to ride around on that.
Okay.
The big cube monster in the trailer. Yeah, there was some cool stuff in that trailer. That was our Nintendo Direct announcements.
All right.
It's a good Direct, I think.
Yeah.
Granted, there was a lot of stuff in there for me, but,
Well, I think we said it in the review. It's probably one of the better Nintendo Directs we've seen in a while.
Yeah.
So.
Just build Gundam Breaker 3 and Tears of the Kingdom. That would be pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into the news. And we got 2 news things here first that you don't know anything about. I'm very excited for.
Okay.
The first one is that Dead Island 2 has done something that I've never seen happen before.
Okay.
Dead Island 2 has gone gold 1 week early and is releasing early.
Okay. One, no, it is not releasing early.
Right.
Okay. Let's get that.
It's
that little
definitely not
marketing
early
twist.
comparatively.
Let's get that little marketing twist out there. I know.
Yeah.
I know what you got. We're gonna go with the angle that we're no. You have made people wait for this game.
It's been in
for
development for
years.
7 years, I believe now.
God, that's a no. It's not early. And so, with that in mind, obviously you've got a good property there.
Yeah.
No, I'm not counting it. I'm taking that as a blatant marketing spin that I'm going to call out.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have people. So with that in mind, though, as I know that people have really wanted this game and been
Right.
looking for it, it's not really a surprise to me that it goes gold.
Yeah.
On the pre-order, like we're finally getting it. I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
For this.
The new release date is now April 21st. So, we'll see if it actually comes out or if it gets pushed back again. But supposedly. Also, it was coming out on the same day as Jedi Survivor. So it could be they're just trying to jump back from that. But that's
See the
fair.
credits, but I'm still not sure.
That's fair. Also, yes, I also want new Gundam games and Robotech and Macross games.
Oh man, we gotta look. BattleTech, Robotech, or Macross. Something's got to be coming with that.
Gotta be. Harmony Gold's lost their grip.
Or with one of those IP, or like Robotech and Macross, where they kind of.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same. It's just not the same. But it's the same.
Yeah.
Like I've got to give that little caveat. Or
it's not, but they follow. If somebody told me Southern Cross and Robotech are the same, I'd be like, no. Southern Cross, Mospeda, they ripped a lot of stuff out of those to make Robotech BattleTech. But Macross, they kept most of the story of Macross.
Yeah.
If I owned the licensing right to Macross, there would be shirts that say Totsugeki Love Heart on them all across this country, all across this world. You would be walking down the street and you would hear Basara singing from the speakers.
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine. You let me know, because I am curious with that. Because Robotech and Macross, as far as the gaming system goes, they were more traditional RPGs.
Yeah.
You by that way. BattleTech was actually you set up the mat and you had your robot with its stats.
Right.
It was more of a kind of like Warhammer, or like a battle simulator type thing.
Right.
It had a story, but you're not role playing anything in the story really. You're just going to the battle.
Also, I just have to throw this out there. Robotech is one of the few times that a character's name has been changed from the original version to be something different, that I was like, maybe this is a better name. Because like in Macross, his name is Hikaru Go, which is like, all right, yeah, that's not a bad name. His name in Robotech is Rick Hunter.
I gotta make him American.
Rick Hunter.
Yeah.
Point. So yeah, why not, right? All right. Oh, we did get a hydrate just now. Thank you. I'm sorry. I was so focused on our conversation.
Fair enough.
Okay. Oh yeah, happy Valentine's, everybody.
Yeah.
So, some people saw the title of the podcast and they're a little confused. Well, we've been going for an hour 15. We haven't brought up Vtubers. Well, do you remember Like a Dragon Ishin? They changed the name of the series back to Like a Dragon, even over here. It's no longer Yakuza, right? It was always Like a Dragon in Japan. We now have the original title.
Yeah, I probably a little mess on where it starts, if where it crossed over, why they changed it or whatever. But yeah,
right.
I know it changed.
Yeah. So, in the newest game, Like a Dragon Ishin, you will have collectible Shinsengumi trooper cards that you can gather. I don't know if there's going to be a full card game mode or just you can gather the cards. Every Yakuza or Like a Dragon game has these, where there's a mini game where you can collect something. In Yakuza 6, for instance, Like a Dragon 6 now. Sorry, I guess still gonna get used to that. You collect gang members for your gang, and those will be, so most of them are just like default characters, but some of them are going to be like famous wrestlers, famous actors, like that, right? Kenny Omega is in this one.
Okay.
But so is VTuber Nyanners Natasha.
Yeah.
Natasha Nyanners is a collectible card in Like a Dragon Ishin.
Okay. What's that?
Which
Well,
is just
isn't okay, yes, it's Yakuza is Japanese, but
Right.
really Like a Dragon. Is
Well,
that-
it's because the original character, Kazuma Kiryu, has a dragon tattoo.
yeah, okay.
But you get the title now? Yeah, this is weird. I'm not against it. It's just weird. And it's weird for a multitude of reasons. Like, Nyanners is a very popular VTuber, right? I understand why they would choose her. However, I've made it clear that I used to watch VTubers from time to time, right? I try to always be on the pulse of every big thing on YouTube, and for a while, VTubers were big on YouTube, right? It has quite a few people that aren't VTubers as well. There is a VTuber.
Called out.
There is a VTuber that plays the Like a Dragon games on stream, known as Kason. I've never watched her, but
Yeah.
her whole thing is that she dresses like a Like a Dragon character and everything. It's really weird to me that they chose Nyanners. I'm not against Nyanners being chosen either. I'm not trying to downplay that she's in this game. I just don't understand why just do one VTuber at that point. Why not do like, hey, we're going to do a bunch of the popular VTubers then, you know?
Right. But it's going to be weird. And I don't know if it make a lot of sense, but you're automatically going to date your game
Right.
with that.
Yeah.
Because here in a few years, not maybe
VTuber apocalypse.
right. I mean, I don't know. I don't think as of right now they're as big as they were. Right.
Right. I agree.
As they were, that's probably going to continue. There'll probably be a couple that get that stay relevant, so to speak.
Yeah.
But you automatically date your game with that, which is
Yeah.
not necessarily a bad thing, but it is a weird. Like, we're going to spend time, programming this image. We're going to get the thing.
Yeah.
Vampy.
Yeah, there's quite a few that are in there. I should also clarify, I don't watch many VTubers anymore, but I used to watch Nyanners from time to time. Yeah. And I still, when I do watch a VTuber, it's Iron Mouse that I watch. Mainly because Iron Mouse will do like whole streams where she sings Sentai Writer songs. But Nyanners is one that I started watching because of the D&D campaign that she was doing with that person that I won't name, that I used to make videos about, that had a really cool world that they were making. So like, I definitely don't want it to come off as I don't think she deserves it, because she puts in hard work. She's streaming all the time. She's doing YouTube. She's busy. She's working, I just think it's a weird choice to go, hey, we're just going to pick one VTuber and it's going to be her.
Yeah. I don't know.
So. But yeah, that's the first one, or the second one that I thought was really strange and didn't want to give you any warning on and wanted to just surprise you with. But also, congrats to Nyanners. If Ryuga Gotoku Studio said, hey, we want to put you in Like a Dragon, I'm there. That's not even a question. I'm there,
Yes, absolutely. Our whole problem with this is that we're not in the game. That is
100%, 100%.
So
like,
why we're bringing this up.
I don't fault her at all. I would have taken the job in an instant as well. So, and I will use her card in the game if there's a whole thing, because I want to see whatever fun thing she says.
It does seem like a strange
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
I guess it's not. What?
There's a bunch of YouTubers I probably would have thought first that play those games all the time. And she has played them too. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say she's never played them. But people like Woolly Versus, that a whole part of their channel is dedicated to that series. Or streamers like Pat Streams At or Clips, that they talk about those games regularly on their stuff, you know?
Yeah.
That's cool, Dark. It's very cool. Trey and Gundam. Look, I would love to be in a Gundam series. I don't even need to be in a Gundam series. I just want one conversation with Yoshiki Tomino.
Yeah, right?
I just want an interview with Yoshiki Tomino.
I got some questions.
How did you come up with Char, and why is he the best character ever? Tell me your opinion. Let's talk about Laurent Sayhawk. Does he speaks a little bit English. Yeah. So, next up for the news. Metroid Prime Remastered. Credits debacle. I'm putting this as simply as I can here for the sake of brevity on the screen. But some people are mad. And we got a posture check. And I want to specify now that these people are mad for what I believe is faulty information and faulty reasoning.
Okay.
But they're mad because Metroid Prime Remastered does not include the full original game's credits. The people that originally made the game are not in the credits.
Okay.
Now, people are mad about this because they think they should be there, right? There's instead just a single slide in the credits that has, based on the work of Metroid Prime, original Nintendo GameCube and Wii version development staff, right? And some people are very mad about this. However, context that I think is very important is that this is not new. It's actually happens very often when a port or a remaster or a remake is done that the original team is not credited. I don't think it should be that way.
Right.
But it's very normal. It's strange when it's different. Final Fantasy XIV having an hour of credits because it has the original 14 dev team and 2.0 dev team is weird.
I told you about looking at the Lord of the Rings credits the other day.
Yeah.
Now, that's a tiny team that keeps that going.
Yeah.
So it's one screen for the
Right.
team that's there now, but it runs through Rangers and Ruins and a few of the other things where people that were there that are no longer there.
Yeah.
And sometimes, it would be a long credit roll. But I think it goes back to what I said earlier about what Prime did for the Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. That these people who did this then, and I realize it does happen, but these people who did this before, they did something very, very special.
Yeah.
And that allows the people who are doing it now to get their name out there,
right,
and get paid for what they're doing.
Absolutely.
And I think, at the very least, that Nintendo should give credit back.
Yeah, they should. Absolutely. Now, this has gotten, as everything does lately, way overblown because the dev team has been getting criticized, saying, well, it's your fault for not including the original dev team in the credits, when the people who decide on the credit rolls are not the dev team. That's the publisher. That is a publisher decision. That doesn't mean you should then go attack the publisher either.
I mean, this. Hopefully, they just take it as we should credit them. And put it in there. I don't understand what the harm is. And once again, production companies.
Right.
I will repeatedly point back to, as evidence, the Hobbit movies. That so much stuff in there is in there because the publisher wanted it in there.
Right.
And it ruined those movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to. There's a way to go about it. Hopefully, this outcry will really mean something. You
Right.
know? It's like, hey, we've got such a long the history of gaming. I could start it back in the '60s, but really for home gaming, it's going to start in the 1970s, right?
Right.
We have a long history of gaming, and there's many names in there, names that you would know and that you don't know.
Right.
Uh, deserve some recognition, some bigger than others. And
Absolutely.
when you have somebody that put a game out that kind of saved a system,
Yeah.
and I don't think that's like overemphasizing what they did, because when Prime came out, Nintendo made sales, right?
Yeah.
So this is not only in the history of gaming that this is a big game, a big point. In your company, it's a big game,
Yes.
big point. You know,
I agree.
I don't know. That just seems real petty not to name them.
Yeah.
And I understand being upset, and hopefully you don't. You got it. Yeah. Hopefully the people in charge will hear the outcry, and hopefully
Right.
there are some people who are, that have the contacts going, hey, maybe we should relook at this.
I agree with you in part, Dark. My problem with that is if you then turn to the publisher and the publisher gets the same level of harassment that the devs have been getting, most of the people that will see that harassment are not the people that make that decision. And the people that make that decision don't care about the harassment and will just ignore it.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be a point, and if you can find the direct point of where you can make that change, then. So,
I'm not saying don't try. I'm
Right.
just saying remember who's getting hurt on the inside on the way.
Yeah, kind of trying to bridge over those two points, because the people in charge, yeah, you need to say they need to hear it,
Right.
But with a lot of avenues of communication with these big companies, it's like cussing out the customer service representative.
Right. That changes
no power
nothing.
to do nothing. So yeah, I agree that at the publisher level, something needs to happen if that was in their choice. And in there is a group of people, or even one, might just be one person.
Yeah.
That these, it's like you have not thought, you may have thought about this, but you did not think through this.
Right.
People want to see it. You want to see a change. And it's not a hard change to make.
It's not.
That's the other thing that gets me about this. This would be so easy for the publisher to go, you know what? We should have. It was an oversight on our part. Next, we're going to put out DLC. They'll have a DLC out soon. And
just like God of War did. Hey, we forgot this composer. We've updated the credits.
Yeah. We're embarrassed, and we're going to fix it. Yeah.
And especially in this case, because I know they have the source code that includes the original credits. I could take a GameCube disc and rip the original credits. If they're not on YouTube, I could get it much faster that way. And I could get the video file that has the original credits myself, maybe 30 minutes tops. And then I could have the entire original credits to layer over the video file for the remaster.
Yeah. It's yeah. There's a group of people there. And you know what? It seems like a penny pinching effort. This is one thing, because there's things companies can do sometimes. They're like, wow, if we change this, we're going to save lots and lots of money. And a lot of times, sometimes it's little things like, hey, if we change this, we will save, but it's just going to be pennies a day. And actually, those are a lot easier to find. But keep it with that mentality in mind. If you're looking for that, you're going to start cutting stuff.
It doesn't need to be cut.
That doesn't need to be cut. Maybe it might save you a few pennies for that developer sitting there typing for 5 minutes or whatever. But in the long run, it's going to leave a bad taste in your customer's mouth. Anyway.
So that's where that is. Kumpla's in here still. Sorry to hear that.
No.
All right. Well, this last piece of news that we do have an ad coming up, but I don't trust it to actually be.
All right. We'll see how it goes.
So this last piece of news is the future of Guild Wars 2, because we got a Guild Wars 2 roadmap. And this is actually this is almost big enough news that I made a separate video. And then I was like, nah, we'll cover it on the podcast because this is a really interesting discussion as well, I think. And I think it will spiral out into a full discussion. I need to give a little bit of background for this. Guild Wars 2 has expansions. They've had 3 so far. And then they have what they call Living World seasons, which are like mini expansions. And so your expansion will have like 6 maps and a lot of, we're going to get to that. A lot of new story stuff, new meta events, new mounts sometimes, like all that stuff, right? And your Living World season will have around 4 to 6 maps and then story stuff, new masteries, all that. It's effectively almost the same amount of content, but it's free if you play it when it's live. If you come to play it afterwards, you have to pay for it. That, to me, as a new Guild Wars player, that's cool. I didn't get any of that stuff free. I had to pay for it all. There was no difference for me between that and the expansions, but it doesn't seem sustainable from the outside looking in.
Yeah.
Turns out it's not sustainable. So they have been trying to make roughly 2 expansions at the same time for the last 6 years.
Ooh, okay.
Which obviously doesn't work.
Yeah.
Now, where this comes in is that roadmaps have been given many times. And this is why I want to highlight what Dark said. Roadmaps have been given many times, because I did a full deep dive on the history of Guild Wars roadmaps for this. And many times those promises have been broken. About 2 years ago, upper management in ArenaNet, the company that makes Guild Wars, completely changed. We have an ad now, so I guess I'll wait to finish that.
Okay.
But, take a drink real quick. Get me there's not a hydrate, but I'm going to hydrate anyway.
Fair enough. I don't know. On time this day. Yeah, I kind of have mixed feelings about the roadmaps because like Lotro just put out their roadmap.
Yeah.
I've never done that before, quite like that.
Right.
And that's an exciting thing.
It can be really good. Nice. This time it worked.
You did
Fancy,
a fancy. You almost looked like you knew what you were doing there for a second.
So, ad's done. About 2 years ago, the entire upper management team changed. There was some rough stuff that happened with upper management where you might have heard about this at the time. It was like 3 or 4 years ago. There was a dev that publicly spoke really poorly of the player base and started attacking people. And so the entire upper management of ArenaNet was like overhauled, right? Now, basically at that point, the new CEO, Grouch, that's the username, is also like the lead of ArenaNet's like Guild Wars 2 division. Basically took direct control.
Okay.
When he did that, a lot of things changed. For the first time in this 10-year-old game's life cycle, he made a balance team to balance things. That probably should have been there. Yeah, good call. But that means he had to pull devs off of Living World and Expansion to work on that balance team. Now, last year, he pulled more devs off of both to make a quality of life team that would go through and fix things that have been broken since the game launched.
Yeah.
The first change they made with this roadmap, we'll get into it in a little bit, is a really nice quality of life feature the game should have had the whole time. Yeah, they are hiring people, and they definitely should hire more. But what this means is he's now looking at it and go, hey, this unsustainable business model we've been using all this time has to change.
Yeah.
So, it's unsustainable, right? So what they're going to do from now on is they're not going to do Living World seasons anymore, and they're not going to do big full-time expansions anymore. They're going to do mini expansions. So basically combine the 2 teams into one team.
Yeah.
And so for a reduced price, because there's no sub fee in Guild Wars, remember, for a reduced price, every quarter you will get new content. Now, that new content, you'll pay a reduced price for that in bulk, and you'll get the whole years worth of content for that price.
Yeah, but new content each quarter sounds really nice.
Yeah.
But if your MMO is kind of, extended out and like you're living in this area, that's also a lot.
So
And doesn't
it
seem like
is
you're giving people enough time to really dig into that, unless it's a small area.
it's going to be new maps, basically. So you'll go to
Yeah.
new maps, and you'll be able to explore those new maps, and you'll have new meta events with there. I'm super okay with this, I want to say right now, because a lot of the old maps from Living World, you have no reason to go back to. So while they're cool that they're there, and they were nice to experience the first time, there's no reason to go back to them. Why is so much development time going into giving me 6 maps every expansion when only 2 of them matter?
Yeah.
And so instead, with this, it'll be 2 maps that are as big as the newest maps from the newest expansion, which those maps are huge. And then you'll also be getting new, I got the whole list here, new strike missions, new stories stuff, new gameplay and combat features, new masteries, new rewards, new fractals. There hasn't been a new fractal in 6 years.
Okay,
New
wait a minute,
fractals.
Okay, that means nothing to me because my brain's going, okay, or they're using the Mendelbrot set, and that's
So,
I know that's
right.
what we're talking about.
A fractal's a
So-
dungeon.
Okay,
There hasn't been a new dungeon in 6 years out of Fraggle Rock.
Okay.
So new fractals is great because
Okay.
that has been left to die. And then things like World v World and PvP that rarely ever get updated. World v World got a huge update
Groundbreaking
today.
science. I just I gotta let that know. That would be groundbreaking science.
Yeah.
But so
For
that's
sure.
what they refer to as their dungeons, is fractals.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then strike missions are like a different type of dungeon. It's like instant content that you go on that is just a boss fight. So it'd be like a trial in FF14 or a raid almost, though they do have raids, but you're just fighting like the one boss for the strike missions. There'll be new of those as well. And as Faith has said, for some people this is going to be great. For other people, they're not going to notice a difference because it's not going to be, they don't eat through that content that fast. So quarterly updates is not going to change anything for them.
Fair enough.
But I don't think this is perfect by far. I have a lot of questions, such as the fact of what does this mean for new elite specs, which are the new subclasses? Those normally come in the big expansions. When are those happening? Are they happening at all? We don't know. Nice. Very cool. I did that myself not that long ago. I personally would rather have new content that comes out more often,
Yeah.
that may not be as much content as an expansion, than having to wait 2 years for an expansion to get new content.
Yeah.
But
the idea they have, the phrase they use, living worlds.
Yeah.
Is kind of interesting because that's kind of an old MMO phrase.
yeah,
And a living world, which no MMO actually ended up doing
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Because the original term meant, there were going to be people, human beings on the other side that were
Right.
in the game.
I
Basically, being
wish
NPCs.
that's what Living World meant
No.
in this game.
Yeah. The context of it is a little bit different now.
Yeah.
They took it as yeah.
Because ultimately, Living World has been, I'm working on Living World Season 4 right now. It is just as if it was another expansion. That's all it is. It's just instead of going to a new whole section of the map, it's just 6 new maps in sections we already have.
Which, now brings me to another thing that I think we might have a little discussion on.
Okay.
Okay. So it's around that phrase "living world," kind of the old definition, as opposed to what Guild Wars is using it to.
Right.
For they're using it for a specific thing they're doing in their game.
Yeah.
But a living world. Now I've messed with GPT a little bit.
Yeah.
And you know how I feel about using the word AI.
Yeah.
And ChatGPT is not
Right.
AI. It's kind of AI. At the best, it's weak or narrow
Yeah.
AI to that. But for the old school version of what an open or what a living world would be, constantly evolving, constantly changing, where you completed out one quest, if it had enough of an effect, that would actually change the world permanently.
Yeah.
Right. As instead of being humans like this, now you could run the MMO uh, through like an AI, maybe
Right.
even a few weak AIs.
Yeah.
To give you that feel.
You could. That'd be really interesting to see.
I don't know. Right now, of course, as great as ChatGPT is, I think it's amazingly powerful.
Yeah.
I think it's very close. It being a weak AI is like, okay, I want you to understand that this is not AI, but it's
right.
very close. It's stupidly powerful what it could do.
Oh yeah.
Of course, right now it's getting put in a search engine, but that's
a
discussion.
Almost like the AI director in a Left 4 Dead Space. Yeah, that would be tweaking things on the fly and would speak back to you. And... Have a good one, Will.
Good night.
I have not seen Free Guy, but I think Rundgren has.
What is that?
Free Guy? Dark said we should watch it.
I like Free Guy. I do. Catchphrase. Yeah. Well, when the original Diablo came out, it was one of its like big driving points was each time you start over and go into this dungeon, it's going to be completely different. Now, of course, that was nothing.
Yeah.
That's nowhere near AI.
Right.
But that's kind of the idea of using that. I know we're way off topic, but using that.
It's okay. I have a way to bring it back.
That ChatGPT to give that feeling of living in that world so the world changes along with you.
Yeah.
And I know MMOs have tried it.
Oh yeah.
And it hasn't worked.
Yeah.
They've tried many with what just weather patterns.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, that was my fault.
It's okay, because it does tie back into the name Living World causes discussions like that or confusion like that. When you tell somebody, hey, when you play Guild Wars 2, you had to buy 3 expansions. They go, okay, yeah, I know what those are. That's no problem. And if you then tell them, hey, you also have to buy 4 Living World seasons, you're going to be like, what? What are those? So I think dropping that name and going to just, hey, these are mini expansions now is really smart. I think that's a much better marketing strategy. I think that it will work out better for the life of the game. I do think, and this is not going to happen, but I do think what should happen now is Living World Season 2 should come free with Heart of Thorns, first expansion, because it leads into Heart of Thorns. Living World Season 3 should come free with Path of Fire, and I haven't played Icebrood Saga yet, but it should probably come free with End of Dragon since it leads into that. Since you're not going to be doing Living World seasons anymore, that seems like the best way to do that to me. But to get back into this, that's not all that's coming with this. They're also going to be giving a bunch of free content if you own End of Dragons. This stuff's just free for you. If you don't own End of Dragons, you can't access this. You can't buy it separate. But once you buy End of Dragons, you can get this stuff. And this is all stuff that comes after End of Dragons. It's like an epilogue almost, with a new area in a pre-existing map, which is closer to what Living World they were trying to go for originally with Living World Season 1 than what any of the other seasons have been, which is really interesting to me. But new stuff there. And then also, we got a balance update today. World v. World got a change for the first time in years, which is great. They updated some of the Chromium embedded framework stuff, which is how the Black Lion Company stuff works, the trading post. It has a pop-up window, and so they've updated that where it runs smoother. And then they added one new quality of life feature today as part of this. Hey, we have a quality of life team working on quality of life stuff, which is you can now randomize what mount skin, what glider skin, what skiff skin comes out when you mount up from your list that you've unlocked. You can have a random pet that pops up whenever you enter a new map. And you can now select a random dye system where you just click it and it randomizes the color of your gear based on the dyes you have unlocked. And there is some work went into that because it follows color theory. It tries to make it look good. It doesn't just go, hey, here's a bunch of greens in a row. It's just, here's green for this part of your equipment. And then, it's really interesting. And some of it looks, I could not get one that looked bad when I tried earlier messing around with it. And some of them looked really good. And you can randomize your wardrobe as well to get a random outfit. But they designed it in such a way where it doesn't actually spend any of your resources to do that unless you hit apply on your wardrobe. Then you spend transmutation charges. So you can get a bunch of random looks and see which one you like, or you can just use it as a guide to see what might look good on your character. So no word yet on fixing that, but hopefully soon. But all this to say, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say about the 64-bit client. Over the past maybe year and a half, maybe 2 years, but can you be a new? That's the important thing.
I don't think so.
Then forget it.
You can wear a Speedo, though.
All right, there might be a compromise we had. I have to think about it. That, but a lot of work's been doing. Of course, 32-bit is gone.
Yeah.
You know, most places, if they all the older games that had a 32-bit client or launcher have now gotten rid of that.
Yeah.
And are going to 64-bit. But there has seemed to be just a little bit of news about making. Well, I don't know how I feel about that. All right, come on. But it seems like the 64-bit clients for quite a few games have been getting some work or need some work.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
But all this to say, when it comes to the roadmap and stuff, it obviously all remains to be seen. But yeah. I believe, for what it's worth, I do believe that Grouch is committed to making this happen as much as within his power to do so. I just don't know that he will be able to do it. I hope so, because I think this is a good way to do it. I don't think, again, I've said it many times, the system they were doing was not sustainable. You cannot just release a bunch of stuff for free every year while also working on an expansion and expect to be able to keep the lights on and keep the doors open as a game developer when your game does not guarantee anybody has to pay anything.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work that way. I wish it did. I wish that them giving away a bunch of stuff for free meant that they could just keep working. But hopefully this fixes that problem. I never thought I would be asking them to make me pay money for something, but I do think those developers deserve to get paid. And, you know, that money's got to come from somewhere. So as long as it's reasonably priced, I don't see a problem with it at all. That's the problem. It hasn't worked just fine. The team is really small. The team is not big enough. And you talked about earlier, they should hire more people. That takes money.
Yeah.
The team is too small to keep up that level of work while also fixing everything else that's broken in the game. And there's a lot of stuff that needs to be fixed. There's a lot of quality of life stuff that needs to be done. Some of the professions still don't work the way they should. Some stuff, like Mechanist, you can't take the mech underwater. So as soon as you go underwater, you're not a mechanist anymore, really. You're just an engineer again. And so, like, there's a lot of stuff that is just not done. And it's not done because they have a 30-man team trying to make a full MMO.
Yeah.
And upkeep a full MMO, you know? Yeah, no tool belt. You're not even a full engineer. That's right. So I agree that it was great that it was free, but also I don't think that's sustainable in any way, shape, or form because Guild Wars 2 has been slowly giving out because they've been giving out. So, but that's just my opinion. We'll see. So the new story content is supposed to be coming, and the new map is supposed to be coming on the 28th. So we'll find out. All right, let's throw it over to Rundgren's Corner.
All right. My paper's up here. Everything. With that, you know, we start off with a birthday,
right?
And it is Simon Pegg's birthday today.
Oh, okay.
You know, I'm sure he'll watch, you know, this weekend, watch the VOD or whatever. So happy birthday, Simon Pegg.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Yeah, I did. There's a couple of your movies that I really enjoy. With that, Shaun of the Dead is classic.
Yeah, I love Hot Fuzz.
So, yeah, Hot Fuzz is pretty good too. That's a long movie.
Yeah.
So I last year where I had a little bit of health problems, I was putting out a song for like the third movie in that group.
At World's End, is that what it's called?
Yeah, I think so. Well, anyway, for a while I was putting out a song a week. I put out 3 albums last year, and
Mhm.
you may find them all trash. That's fine.
They're
You
good.
tell me that you find them all trash, it then I'll take that. That's fine. I can't please everybody. I wouldn't be surprised.
Good stuff.
Now, in Germany,
Oh boy.
there was a newspaper critic. She was a critic, and she'd watched a ballet at the Hanover State Opera House. And I'm trying to read these German names because this was reported by the Frankfurter, which is like, really? Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung.
Okay.
And reported that this ballet director, whose name Goek, Goec, well, except cars,
Yeah.
you know.
And techno music.
Would you like to touch my monkey? Do, 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 do. The well, anyway, she watched this ballet and she was not impressed, right?
Okay.
About the ballet that was done, and she wrote a review of the production that he staged in the Dutch seat of government, in The Hague, and he didn't like what she said, and he had threatened to ban her from the ballet and accused her of being responsible for people canceling the season tickets.
Oh.
Now, I understand you being upset with the critic, but what this ballet director did was, in order to show his disapproval of her, his disapproval of the review. Like I said, you're going to get bad reviews.
Yeah.
Right? It's going to happen. Not that. He didn't like it so much. So I think he went a step too far because he ended up smearing animal feces in her face for it. Now,
look out, YouTube comment haters.
oh my gosh. Now, I am not a psychologist or psychiatrist or even therapist on any level. I don't think. Well, see, that's why I was kind of wondering about it. Yeah, as a live action Shyster flick. I don't think this is a healthy way to handle criticism.
No, it's not.
And I wish I had like her review.
Yeah.
Of it was, like I said, she critiques ballets. This is her job.
Sickness
If
must
she
be
doesn't
purged.
like it, she's going to say so, and she can put something in there. You may disagree. You may be a big fan of ballet and be like, look, this man's a genius and he put on a great show. Yeah, but
Right.
there's one critic didn't like it. Don't smear animal feces on people.
Well, that's not the German way either. You're supposed to follow them around, waiting for them to do something that gets them in trouble, and then you point and laugh.
Well, he was given a few days to apologize comprehensively and explain himself to theater management before further steps are announced. It added, not that you just need to apologize and it'll be okay, but we're not going to. I think that's a fair assumption.
Yeah, I agree.
I love one of the quotes here. Of course, socially, that is also certainly not recognized or respected if one resorts to such means.
Yeah.
This is I don't know how much you or any of the viewers are into the German ballet scene, but this has apparently made a big
I'm sure
splash over there. Of course, the German Journalists Association, they denounced the attack, and the end of this article kind of goes to my point, right? An artist must tolerate criticism.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. This is assault.
Mm.
With all the little tongue-in-cheek smiling and everything, this is assault.
Yeah.
All right. But it says an artist must tolerate criticism, even if it seems exaggerated. And this is from the head of the union. Whoever reacts violently to criticism is unacceptable. The attack on the journalists it's also attack on press freedom. And that last little line right there made me go, oh yeah. I think he does. I think he got it from his dog.
Oh, okay.
Is where he got it from. But it kind of is, and I don't want to try to get all political and everything, but this little microcosm right here, where he got his feelings hurt because she didn't like his ballet,
Right.
which is the baseline.
Yeah, and it's
right?
fine to get upset that somebody didn't like it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah,
As a creator, you have to deal with it.
exactly to do that, but to take that next step,
Mhm.
and now, and this might be going on a little bit, but now, let's say there's people that read this woman's work that she does. They trust her to say, "Hey, they did."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
fair
that's
enough.
fair. Yeah. Walked into that one.
May trust her work and be like, okay, hey, she likes it. I've had a good record with her. If she likes it, and the ones that she said she liked, I went to go see it. I liked them.
Yeah.
She didn't like this one, and I went to go see it. And you know what? I didn't either. I kind of built. I understand her taste or whatever. I trust her to say this. Now is she going to be like, oh, I don't want to deal with this again.
Right.
Let me not put something in. And I know that went a little bit deeper than the article, but really, dude?
No, for sure.
Really?
Also,
I mean,
just throwing this out there, but Germany doesn't like it when you attack the press. That's a pretty big thing for them. Is other than one thing, you're allowed to say whatever you want, and nobody can stop you in Germany. They're very serious about that. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I kind of, for a lot of the Siskel and Ebert stuff, I was kind of the same way.
Yeah.
Right. They're these movie critics. They don't look movies the same way that I did.
Right.
And so if they were like glowing reviews, they loved it, I would probably find it boring. So I definitely understand that. And yeah, I can't imagine. And this is the other thing. It's like that I don't have a follow-up to the story.
Right.
Other than they've asked him to gave him time to apologize. They're going to have some kind of repercussion. I think the police should be involved.
Yeah, I think they probably will be.
You have assaulted another citizen
of
Germany. There's no excuse for this.
Yeah.
And I was like, how petty do you have to be?
Yeah, I agree.
To come with it, just take poop, to carry poop with you.
And I didn't think there was
of putting it in somebody's face.
I didn't think there was much worse than the stuff that I see on Twitter getting sent to game devs and stuff. But this is worse.
Yeah. It's such the thing that throws me off is such a stupid reaction, right?
Yeah.
I would expect, like, I don't know, if this was a story like, well, there was this one time that Amadeus was playing, right? And Mozart was playing, and somebody interrupted him, and he threw it. Yeah, that guy's crazy. Should have been done, But this is not that time, and even then, I'm still going to be going, that's freaking awful.
Too far, sir.
It seems like they should have. That they should have already. That there should have been some charges pressed or something at this point. Like I said, I don't have a follow up to this. I just got this today, and like the biggest thing is that they're going to have something. Like I said, they've been giving him days to apologize, which I don't. It's going to be more than that.
Yeah.
This is not. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, Dark.
Obviously, you can't handle your position.
Right. Yeah, I don't want to work for him. I don't want to be around him. Yeah, I agree.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. That's what I'm saying. And this guy, this is one of those moments where I'm like, yeah, this guy has probably just ruined his career.
Oh, yeah.
He's ruined his career for no reason. Because one journalist, one critic who, listen to the name, critic.
Yeah.
Right? That's short. The short and form, criticize is where it comes from. It's I don't know. It's just a silly story.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, he did it for a reason. It was just a stupid one, and yeah,
Mhm.
he obviously cannot handle any
Yeah.
kind of criticism. Goodness, but yeah, it would if if I was a dancer, and God bless them because they go, if you
Mhm.
go look at ballet dancers' feet, and they are sacrificing to do this.
Yeah. I
No,
did
I don't
not
know.
think we would be telling people to look up feet today, but there we are.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough. I
All
don't
right.
know if I would feel that way, Dart, that ballet shouldn't exist. That's still it's still there's an art form and there are people that have a passion
Mhm.
for it. And yeah, it is. I agree with you on that. That I do believe it's monstrous when I see the damage they do to
Mm.
their feet. But the ballet goes out way bigger than just ballet.
Right.
And it's really kind of, if I tell you the people that are in that do ballet, you'd probably be surprised because there's football players and basketball players,
Right.
boxers, and UFC fighters that fight in the MMA. That some of them they do, yeah, for the showmanship too, and that we could probably go into
Yeah, that
modeling and a few
splinters
other,
into everything.
yeah, a few other
You look
things
at
too.
weight training that some boxers do.
Oh, dude, weight cuts,
Yeah.
either on the, and it doesn't matter, you know, which side you look at, weight cuts can be that those are scary sometimes.
Yeah.
And I like I said, I do like sport, but man, when and some of those fightings where they're trying to, like, when they walk around at 185 pounds,
Yeah.
and that's training and that's what they work on, and then they try to cut down to 145 pounds,
Yep.
in a couple of weeks.
Hey, this
That can
guy
kill.
only drank water and ate crackers and sat next to a heater inside a
Yeah,
small room for 4 days straight.
yeah, yeah. It's torture on themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Well, speaking of torture, let's talk
Okay.
about your assignment.
All right. All right.
So, you ran a gas station again.
Yeah. 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 I did.
I'm worried that you're enabling some bad behaviors from one of the customers. There's a certain man that came in to see you while you were running the station, spent a good amount of money
No.
while he was on shift for his job, and then came back again a few hours later, now in street clothes, off duty, and spent more
Yeah.
just for another chance to talk to you.
I don't think that was. I think it was checking up on me.
You think so?
Yeah. Yeah. We're touching on some touchy subjects tonight. I'm not like defund the police. I'm also not like for the thin blue line either or stuff. The cops are the government. Okay?
Yeah.
The cops are the government.
Okay.
And I don't want them around.
Okay. Well, that bit went a different way than I thought it would, but
It was either the cop, or I thought it was the guy with the thing on his head.
no, it was the cop. It was the cop.
Okay. It's all right.
Okay.
I wasn't doing anything wrong.
He came in to see you like 5 times in one day.
Yeah. You don't find that suspicious?
I do. I think
Of course,
he's
I do
falling for
think
you
I
on
am
Valentine's
I
Day.
do think in that game I am involved with organized crime too. So
Dr. Trey.
maybe that's something. I don't know.
So, they do. That's true. That's a good point. So, we have to vote on your next game.
Hold on. I kind of want a shirt that says that for some reason.
Copsy snackies.
Yeah. Are you hangry?
You did with the sickness must be purged. That would spook me. I didn't expect it, and it was very loud on my end, but it was very funny. So, I'm gonna start up a poll.
Okay. Yes.
Again, as always, chat, do not tell Rundgren the name of the game. Say 1, 2, 3. You want to vote on YouTube, otherwise just vote on the poll that is coming up. It was an interesting roll, I think, today.
All right, we got one vote in already for the
Mhm.
third one. Oh, that's 2.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That's 3. Okay.
Okay.
All right. For the next minute, the poll is up on Twitch.
Oh gosh. Hmm. Don't get-
This is surprising. I honestly thought the chat would go for 1 here. Looks like 3 is the way we're going.
Wait for the. Hey, don't do, don't do that. Kidding.
No, that's. I am surprised, but I'm not upset by this.
Okay. Cool. You think she would? She might. You might.
We have an additional like 18 seconds to go until the vote is done. But right now, number 3 is in the firm lead.
Okay. Well, I'd just like to take this time. If you have a problem with anything I say, please contact me through Trey at the Full Spectrum.
That's right. That's right. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So the winner is the game that you will be playing tomorrow is Kill It With Fire.
Okay. Okay. Cool. When I finished that game up with at the lawnmower part where I was on that, that's cool. Kill it with fire. Okay, cool. Kill it with fire. A game of what would that be? Is that more? Yes, right. Just look at what I got here. Put it out of my back pocket. Same here. What's funny is I have a sister, and growing up, she loved spiders. She still loves spiders. They would not really good. The game setup's good, and I like the graphics on it. They're simplistic and they're nice. They look good. But she loves spiders. She would like catch one in a jar and keep it for a while.
Yeah.
I do not do spiders. I like snakes. I thought snakes were cool. See, I need an animal that communicates.
Yeah.
Yeah, a snake will let you know. You will get a loud hiss. Somehow you'll get a rattle. It may still bite you, but it's gonna give you a little bit of a warning.
No, you can't really see their mandibles and stuff.
Yeah. Spiders don't talk. They don't say nothing.
So I love spiders, and I used to keep spiders in my bedroom. And I didn't keep them in like a case or anything. I adore spiders, and I would catch them from outside and then like put them in my windows and stuff, and they would kill the bugs for me. But when I started dating my missus, all the spiders had to go.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I no longer have any spiders.
The spiders look good enough. They're not over detailed and they're not under detailed. So yeah.
But
and when you get to the riding lawnmower, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. If anybody ever tells you that spiders don't feel emotions, that's right. I moved the spiders outside, and one of them came back in and crawled back into the spot that she was at in the bedroom before, and would come out and like look at me at night because she was so happy to be home. I did move her back outside again, but
now she's trying to figure out how to put you in a cocoon. She's like, I could live for years on that.
She was a sweetheart. Her name was Madam.
Well, there's kind of a rule in this area about spiders.
Yeah.
If you tolerate them, right? As if you got, I'm not even about.
Yeah.
If they're high and hairy, you leave them alone. They should be fine. If they're low and shiny, and you've got a small pets, or small,
you
small
gotta get
pets
rid
or
of them.
small children, you gotta get rid of them. That's a general rule.
They are kind of quick moving, but I don't think they're horrifying in the game. They're kind of more like, I thought one was gonna win. I really did, but we'll see. It might come up again, so I won't say what it is yet.
All right, that's fine.
All right. Well, let's talk plugs. You got any plugs?
No, I did catch up with some that's a fair rule. More than 6, less than 10.
Yeah.
Fair rule. No, I did watch some Casual Geographic.
Yeah.
That guy's just what a great channel.
Yep.
What a great channel. The if you love animals, he will probably, if you have a specific animal that you really love, he's probably got a video that ruins it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean those, like, that's a whole discussion right there, because you got centipedes and then you got centipedes.
Yep.
And these centipedes kill things that are big.
Yeah, I like those centipedes. I don't like the little ones.
You don't like the little ones?
No.
Did you watch Geographic? I watched a little bit of. I was watching today a little bit of Audit the Audit and a couple of Young Turks videos going over where, like, people, if you deal with the government on any level, you have rights. And one of the problems is that's all based on you. If you don't know them, they're not going to tell you.
Right.
You know, they had to fight for the Miranda right.
Yeah.
So they could tell you, at least you understand some of your basic rights through that. But some of them are, or the ones that get pointed out were like this guy did not know what he was doing.
Right.
And you find stuff on there where there's like another cop comes up and is like, "What are you doing?" No, he doesn't have to show you ID.
Right.
No, he can film here.
Right.
Leave him alone. But
Thanks, kid. Oh no.
yeah, I watched a few of those, and I don't know. I guess I was on a legal thing this week because there's a judge caught in Providence.
Yeah.
That I watched a little bit, and yeah, I have never been to a courtroom with a judge like, okay, so I'm just maybe I have been in a courtroom. They should.
Yeah,
They
I
should.
agree with that.
I agree with that. I think there's a lot of rhetoric, both sides, obviously, about that think about it but don't think through it.
Right.
And yeah, no, it should. Then yeah, because they're enforcing it, they should know it. So I agree with that, 100%. But what's funny is one of the videos I watched, because I watched a couple, and like I said, a couple of them where the cop came up and was like, oh, no, you don't have to show me anything. I just checking, and they followed the law and didn't go against their civil rights or anything.
Yeah.
There's some are bad, and usually that's what it works out to. The cops not knowing the law well enough to handle that situation.
Right.
And depending on, it's another weird thing. More thing. It's kind of like the Ohio explosion up there, right?
Yeah.
So up there was a train explosion. Horrible crap's going on up there.
Yeah.
Right. I've got people on the left and on the right that are going, "This is horrible." They're covering something up.
Right.
Yeah, they should, but they don't have to. And it's weird. Like, you can get pulled over. That you're gonna find things. If you get into it, you'll find things like a Terry stop, which was Terry against Ohio.
Right.
Was a ruling on that. You will find a lot of stuff, and there is a lot of things. And it's insane, because if you know all your rights, you basically have them. There's nothing they can do.
Right.
Unless you're committing a crime. Another thing, but I think, the way people go about it, there definitely needs to be some changes, and there is some things that we really need to fix.
Yeah.
In the, but it's just one of those things I got into unless you have the money to pay for the good attorney, or you find one that will, if you're poor, because we can break it down a lot of different ways. But one thing is, if you look at it like a poor, then you're not going to be able to get a lot of that stuff back. You don't have the people that stand up in court for you. There are some that will go pro bono and help you out.
It's not often.
Yeah. Our legal system is definitely not perfect.
Oh yeah. It's also, the comments on this video are going to be really interesting.
Yeah. But I want to point it out, like, caught in Providence, like, go watch that judge, and that judge and the people that work there. For example, a case today, a lady came in, horrible, like debilitating arthritis, right? And so she couldn't buckle up.
Yeah.
Well, the state law says, well, she has to buckle it. She has to buckle it. It's click it or ticket. And she goes in, and a cop standing beside her is going, Your Honor, she can't buckle up.
Right.
And so the judge dismissed it.
Yeah. As you should.
There's people in the legal system that give a damn.
Yeah.
That care, and you want those people there.
Right.
Because they care about justice, they care about the legal system, they care about people, and then there's way too many people there that's like, it's just a job. Yeah. She could drive, but like small manual things, like working the buckle in her car and across her chest where the arthritis is super hard for her to do.
Right.
It causes a lot of pain because it's not just like a lot of times, and I'm guilty of it too. I hear arthritis, I think of the hands, right?
Right.
But it's joints,
shoulders, back,
everything. So there was a few. So while I will rant and rave about when they mess up, I will say, hey, there are people that at least I've seen, that's I don't know.
I'm sure there is, but I bet it's not cheap.
Yeah, it probably not. You're probably not. And there's a whole other discussion, right?
Yep.
There. But
how the system just crushes the people that can't afford to do any better about it.
Yeah.
Specifically designed to make sure that fines only have to be paid because people can't afford to fix the problem that would make it where fines don't have to be paid.
Well, for a lot of things, if the punishment's just a fine and you're a billionaire, that's not punishment.
Yeah.
That's
not even a setback. Well, it would only be safe for her. That's a buckle is only safe for her.
Yeah.
As long as she can still drive, there's no issue.
Yeah. She could. Yeah. She could, as far as it said, and as far from the evidence that I've seen, she could operate a vehicle. She had no other traffic violations, not speeding, running a red light, or anything. They just got her with her seatbelt off.
Now, as a guy who used to be an EMT, please wear your seatbelt. Please wear your seatbelt. But,
Yeah. It is what it is. What about you? You got any plugs?
I do, and they're way less important. It's probably the word to put it. You talked about legal stuff. I've been watching a channel called The Rules Lawyer. They cover Pathfinder 2E.
Oh, yeah.
And they do some cool stuff. They got a series where they take D&D YouTubers and take them through Pathfinder, through a cool few sessions of Pathfinder. Those are really interesting to watch. One of them is a channel called D&D D4 Deep Dive that I started watching because of that, and who made an incredible video on Pathfinder 2E. Very, very good. He's actually a lawyer for his other job, and so that's the persona. He wears the outfit, but he is not rules as written, and he's not a rules lawyer. In the stuff that he's run, he's bent multiple rules and homebrewed stuff to make it more fun. But
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
D&D D4 Deep Dive made a really great video on Pathfinder from a D&D veteran's perspective. I'd absolutely recommend that video. It's very, very good.
Cool. Very cool.
That's very true and humble. But that's my plugs. Like I said, way less, important for any grand stretch of the imagination, but good stuff.
No, you're right. That's all I'm saying.
So don't forget Pathfinder. I love Pathfinder so much already. We'll be talking about Pathfinder Thursday.
Yeah, we'll be going over that again. We're doing the second part of that.
Mm-hmm.
And you were going to talk about skills and feats?
And ancestries. And there's some more rules we didn't cover that we need to go back over that I missed that are very important, that are cool stuff. So
excellent.
And then tomorrow, of course, you'll be playing Kill It With Fire.
Mm-hmm.
And then Friday, we'll be painting. So.
Yeah, good. Yes.
And don't forget, of course, the Thursday and Friday show are now going to be uncapped. They may not necessarily go much longer, but they are uncapped now, so they will go longer. So please look forward to that. All right. I think we got everything.
I think so. just that we're not going to cap it an hour. We were running for just an hour on Thursday, and I think and he was going for just an hour on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll want to instead of cutting, it's more for us.
Yeah.
And put it out there. It's like, yeah, we're not gonna because we were cutting ourselves off.
Mm-hmm.
That and we could probably at least sometimes. No, well, the Monday, so the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, they already weren't uncapped.
Yeah, we already decided we were going 2 hours. You know, those easily go to 2 hours, sometimes a little over.
As evidenced by this podcast.
Right. So the Thursday and Friday stream, we're just gonna take that same thing. Thursday, you know, if we still got stuff to talk about, we'll talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
If he's still got stuff to paint or he can get the model finished, he's going to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a big thing, but I think it'll make the shows better. So
Right on.
all right. Well, until next time, I've been Trey.
I've been Rundgren.
And we've been the Full Spectrum. I understand that. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum that life has to offer.